blind opening, foramen cecum, foramen cecum. The same, this part and this part, that is pars orbitalis of frontal bone and ala minor of sphenoid bone. That is in anterior cranial fossa, clear? Next, middle cranial fossa, fossa cranii media. In central part, it is sella turcica, consists of dorsum sella, tuberculum sella, fossa hypophysealis, sulcus chiasmatis, canalis opticus, fissura orbitalis superior, that is greater wings of sphenoid bone, together with foramen rotundum, foramen ovale, foramen spinosum. New, it is sulcus caroticus, laterally from sella turcica, and new opening for you. It is absent on bones, but present in whole skull. That is foramen lacerum, foramen lacerum. It's between sphenoid bone and pars petrosa of temporal bone, foramen lacerum. The same in middle cranial fossa, we can see eminentia arcuata, tegmen tympani, sulcus and nervi petrosi majoris, sulcus nervi petrosi minoris, and the same hiatus. Hiatus, canalis, nervi petrosi majoris and minoris. And last, posterior cranial fossa. First of all, it is foramen magnum, foramen magnum, that is a base of occipital bone. It is porus and meatus acousticus internus. It is sulcus sinus petrosi superior. It is sulcus sinus petrosi inferior. That is jugular foramen, foramen jugulare. If you remember, we have a jugular notch in occipital bone and jugular fossa in temporal bone, and together they make jugular foramen, foramen jugulare. It is groove of sigmoid sinus, sulcus sinus sigmoidei, sulcus sinus transversi, protuberantia occipitalis interna and eminentia cruciformis, crista occipitalis interna, and it is hypoglossal canal, canalis hypoglossalis. That is internal base of the skull. And now external. External base of the skull, the same subdivides into three parts. Anterior part of external base, middle and posterior. Border between anterior and middle part, that is posterior border of palatum ossum and choane. Choane, that is opening between nasal cavity and nasal part of pharynx, that is choane. That is anteriorly, between anterior and middle part of external base of the skull. And border between middle and posterior part, that is anterior border of foramen magnum. Foramen magnum. Anterior part has arcus alveolaris, together with teeth, together with alveolar process of maxilla. It is the same palatum ossum, which forms with the help of palatine process of maxilla lamina horizontalis of palatine bone. Canalis, you ask me today, incisivus, and canalis palatinus major. In middle cranial, in middle part of external base, we can see foramen lacerum, foramen ovale, foramen spinosum. It is canalis, help me, what is this canal? Canalis between this opening and this opening. Canalis here and here. Canalis caroticus. This canal between apertura externa or foramen caroticum externum and foramen caroticum internum. It is the same fossa mandibularis And on the floor of this fossa, fissura timpano-squamosa, which is separates into fissura Pietro-squamosa and fissura Pietro-tympanica. And last, posterior part of external base. Here it is foramen stilla mastoidum, incisura mastoidea, sulcus arteria accipitalis, condylus accipitalis, canalis hyperglossalis, fossa candilaris. Here it is foramen mastoidum. Clear? It is not new information. New information only what? Only foramen cecum, foramen lacerum, and foramen jugular foramen. That is new information. All another structures you already know, necessary to repeat, and you will answer skull as a whole. Not necessary to prepare temporal fossa, infratemporal, pterygopalatine fossa next time, and the same next time orbiter and nasal cavity. It will last classes in astrology. Next time only internal and external base of the skull and roof of the skull. That is all.